to a northern coastline, past the peak of day and pine, a wanderer in search of the eternal sunset. The rocks are rounded and wet as whales beached upon some hidden bank. The light of the sun bleeds into the burning hues of dusk. Last beam, bringing to him this primal dream.
Alastair Blain is a wild man from Scotland who makes his painting materials from nature. For a brief period he studied at the Vienna Academy of Visionary Art, where a focus on dreams conditioned his choice of motifs. Now, Blain is increasingly concerned with the mythic potential of the landscape, and lets me observe while he applies the first layer of a new painting. This is Primal sandpaper, right? This is... what do you call it in English?
Pumice.
Pumice?
Pumice.
Yeah, this is volcanic rock, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sandpaper. This is very environmentally friendly too. Great. So what are you going to do now? Because now we're not looking at any kind of landscape. So what's your evil plan here?
Well, I've done some sketches.
Yeah.
From the
like
landscape around here. Yeah. Down here. And yeah, it's a guide. It's something to work with. Composition. So
is this? I don't know when things are published here in relation to each other, but we just earlier today did this dark flame master, I guess, centering around landscape and painting from memory, going outside, doing sketches, going back in, and trying to get sort of the essence of the landscape, of how you want to formulate it.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going with this. It's rough weather out there.
Oh, the brush is
and this is the
so
brush.
nice.
This is the brush. So this is the first time for
That's
this
the
one.
one you made.
Yeah. So we'll see. And I'm not.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get this greyish tone here, kind of a no colour to just kind of create something to use. And it's like establishing it. It's obviously not. It's going to look different on the canvas, so.
Yeah.
The scrubbing.
Yes. Should we say impossible to become detailed when you're working with
I mean, look at
that kind of a brush?
Look at this. Yeah.
Oh god, that's so nice. You're really working with sort of, creating ex nihilo, out of nothing, or out of this chaos comes clarity, and then
something like this. Yeah.
In short, you're an archetypal painter.
Don't say it. Don't say it. So you know, and things. I think the wonderful thing about painting from memory or painting, is you just have an essence of maybe what you want to capture. I want to lean into sunset, but I'm not bound to that.
Mm-hmm.
So things will happen within the paint in this kind of, natural, unexpected.
But do you have an idea of a specific time of day or?
I mean, I fall in love with the sunset. It always strikes me. But I mean, being here in Norway, particularly, even in the winter, even at midday, you'll have this strange reddish, orangish glow on the horizon, even though it's midday. So I've been quite claimed by that sort of effect, but we'll see what comes. We're just kind of covering, it's creating the atmosphere first.
Mm-hmm. So you just trying to understand your approach here. You're not really sort of going that looking at the drawing up again, down and drawing up again.
No, I'm not copying. Like when we get to this more particular forms, this is just a suggestion as to what forms are out there. But I'm using my memory of the feeling of, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements that I'm actually concerned about.
Yeah.
And so it's remembering the feeling of those.
So it's a method of. Yeah, and we talked about it when we did that dark film, you and I and Sebastian. And it struck me. We could maybe talk a little bit more about it. I don't know. That standing all the time in front of the motif can be a bit like painting from photo. This is dragging it a bit far, but if you're caught up with exactly copying, you kind of lose the.
Yeah, and as well, it's overwhelming. Like you think there's this. Where do you end? The landscape goes around, and you're in it. So.
I mean, you can be trapped in sort of following each creek and each variation of what you see. Because I just noticed when you said that there were some elements that you're really concerned with. So this is a way of, I guess, making sure that you don't get lost.
Yeah. And there are details like that are very, sensual in a way, and you can, you can work up to that. It's on this just layers of the paint, You don't go for that first of all. So just trying to find.
It's a really nice color to work on. Like, what did you do? Can you repeat that? You said it before we started. First, you did a layer of.
It's kind of rustish. I think it was maybe sienna or iron oxide in the chalk, and then I think I actually made extra for another batch, and I thought, well, I need to use this paint, so
very nice.
It changes all
like
the time.
Old, what do you call it? You say pergament in English, like old, not papyrus, but it's called pergament in Norwegian when you write on leather.
Parchment.
Parchment.
Yes.
Yes.
No, it has this wonderful leathery quality. Yeah.
So nice.
Yeah.
God. And also that structure when you apply it a bit thick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now you're already going. You're sort of starting to.
Yeah, just suggesting something.
Draw a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of that.
That thing about getting it out of the fog.
Yeah.
Getting clearer and clearer.
Very good advice, this, but it can always change. Think about this more pinkish piece on the horizon, maybe.
Yeah, see what you're doing with the brush there? That brush, in the beginning you would think, okay, good luck with trying to get some detail and lines with that brush, and now you're doing it.
Yeah. By not painting.
Yes.
Yeah.
You get the line by putting that surface next to that surface, and then you get the line.
Behind it.
You get it by not getting it. Or,
Yeah, I get it.
You know it.
I get
You know
it.
what I mean.
I get it.
You know, you feel what I'm trying to say.
I'm putting it all around as well, trying to, you know, not be precious. Precious. I'm thinking about this, I mean, seeing Odd's work in this curved horizon.
Yeah.
It's maybe a bit smaller painting to do that with, but, you know.
Well, you can start to...
yeah.
Yeah, I remember talking with him about that once, or, yeah, I was mentioning that, and something struck me when you look at, you know, this is what you learn like basic physics in school, about water, how you have a glass of water. If you look, you can fill it up really to the brim and even a bit above, and it makes this little cap. You know, the water goes like that. It grows a little bit. You know.
Yeah.
So it's not straight. It makes that little curve.
Yeah.
In a glass of water.
Yeah.
So again, that's coming back to Hertog again. You know, who is the one who really understands how nature works? The one who has a completely straight horizon, or the one who has that little curve?
Yeah.
So would you then at a certain point go back to the motif when you have those 4 or 5 important things set? Would you go back and sort of add information from the motif again, or would you try to just continue like this?
Like going back to
actually take it out.
Take it out. Oh yeah. Sometimes, you know, it can be 3 or 4 times you go out.
Yeah.
And you're overlaying it maybe a different time of day as well, so you kind of...
So the point is now that you get the story, you get the mood, you get the direction.
Yeah.
And then you know that of course you might be deviating from what you actually saw, and you go back to sort of refresh color and straighten some forms and...
Things develop with time, and...
That's kind of... well, maybe that's a word that art shouldn't keep to its own, kind of liberating, that you are free then to focus on the story, but you know you're not drifting totally off from the study of nature, because you will go back to it. So you set these different tasks. Now I'm working with structure, general direction, and then I will go out and put the color, and then I will go back and think.
There's stages, but I mean, it's like they're not totally isolated, because I mean, you talk about this unfinished totality.
Yeah.
And then it's again like each session, you want to work as if it's the first time you're working, the sketchy, fresh.
In a way, yeah.
In a way.
So you don't start stiffening and your brush turns into a pencil.
Yeah. So
no, not a problem with it.
So I need to be.
Can I hold it?
Yeah,
just feel it. It's so nice.
I need to be careful here. Okay. Yeah, no, I need it. Yeah. So I need to be careful here not to go off track too much.
Yeah, is there something you're thinking I must not do now, or is there something that you're focusing on that is most important now? Like,
well, it's just when I see these forms and maybe they're getting too far away from what I was really falling in love with. Mm-hmm. So that's why I have the sketch there, and not even that drawing is, say, accurate, but it's got this I guess impression of what was there, but it's not you know,
because it's quite natural in a way. I mean, you think about this battle picture by Michelangelo. You had this competition right between him and Leonardo. Apparently, obviously, it's composed and. You know.
There was a drawing.
Yeah. I think, I don't know, maybe that's just a hang-up of mine, but I just think about that it can be this problem that now I shall be a true artist and do everything exactly right, and then you totally lose the poetic element,
Yeah.
the story.
Yeah, you want to
The
be
story of it.
you want to be playing with poetry and not.
Yeah, it's poetry plus empiricism, right?
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the vibrancy of it first and foremost.
Yeah. And that's what was so incredible about the Apelles palette and working on this sort of ground, is that it's so simple, but you're so
So what did you use before?
full spectrum. Oh, everything I could find.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of umbers and things as well, a lot of browns, but
No specific policy?
hmm?
No specific policy?
No.
Hmm.
It's just wandering around trying to find what worked, you know.
Yeah.
Then also not like you can rely on the tube producing the colour that, you know, for you, rather than actually mixing. That's a nice hematite.
Wallace Seymour, that's the brand?
Yeah, Wallace and Seymour.
Ah, that looks nice.
So they're very nice company. This kind of small, they make small batches.
Yeah.
It's I believe in them.
Yeah.
And
Looks homemade.
yeah. Maybe.
So is what you're doing now, is that continuing on what you saw, or you're thinking more?
Well, this rock I was really taken by it.
Uh-huh.
Just this form, almost like a beach whale or something. This kind of has a creature element to it.
So do you think specifically on composition now, or are you just... Yeah, what are your thoughts? Or it's just a matter of getting that mood, that impression?
Yeah, I mean, it's always a struggle.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to make it harmonious, but still don't just construct. You know, you can have these lines, and you know, I think if it feels right, then it is right. But I don't know, and I mean, you can always just destroy it. I mean, think about even like this as well. This is very nice. So you have this.
Yeah. So you're imposing the focus first and foremost.
Yeah.
Thank you for checking out this video from the School of Apelles. To watch the full video and access our premium library, go to caveofapelles.com/subscribe and become a $10 patron. That's caveofapelles.com/subscribe.